Big night for the Grand Rapids community and the hockey community there. The city held a ribbon-cutting ceremony of the West Rink in the newly renamed Yanmar Arena. It's in a renovated section of the IRA Civic Center with a new roof, floor, and ice plant. There's also new ADA access, viewing areas, and community spaces. Just 10 minutes after that ribbon cutting, the puck dropped on the Grand Rapids Hibbing boys hockey game. How was that for a setup for you, Alexis Bass?
Yeah, I don't know if you could have set up sports better than that.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
I know you did all yourself. I'll just take it from there.
Yeah.
We kicked off our high school hockey coverage, as I said, on My 9 Sports Night. So if you miss it there, well, we have it right here for you. So on this Thanksgiving Eve, we get this sports party started all the way up. And yes, Grand Rapids at the newly named Yanmar Arena. These high school hockey players open up their season with a meeting between the Thunderhawks and the Hibbing Chisholm Blue Jackets. Ahead of the game, a special tribute and puck drop for Hibbing native Adam Johnson. Joe Stachel, who was one of Adam's cousins, had the honorary puck drop tonight. Entering into the first period, already past the halfway point, game is scoreless. Bauer Murphy takes his shot, is denied, but believes in second chances to put away the second effort goal. The first of the Thunderhawks season and the night, it's 1-0. Still in the first period, Rapids moving in. A shot on net from Will Shimon, but Nathan Garski is there to bury it for the second goal of the night. Rapids go up 2-0. So out of the faceoff with time winding down in the first, Dominic Bromberg with the laser from deep, and with a wild bounce between the two Blue Jackets, that one bounces right in to conclude the first 3-0. In the second period, a 2-on-1 rush. Jace Kalupsa with the centering pass to Tate Swanson, who finds the top left corner to finally get the Blue Jackets on the board. Hibbing Chisholm now trails 4-1 to Grand Rapids. Both teams would add another goal apiece, but it's Grand Rapids who holds on to their lead, winning their first game of the year 5-2 over the Blue Jackets.